Hi one and all. So in the previous class we learned how we can able to build a data table, or in other words how we can able to construct a data table by extracting the data from a specific web page, right? Which is also called as an data scraping, right? So as I said in the previous class itself, in the textbook they have taken an example of Amazon website, whereas we took an example of Flipkart website, right? And I recommend you people to follow the steps present in the slide in order to extract the data from a specific web page. I mean specific means by using an URL of a web page, and extracting that data by following the instructions given by the tool. So all this we have learned in the previous class itself, and then finally getting those data which is present in a specific web page in the form of a table. Finally what we did in the previous example is we extracted the data to a data table and we converted the whole content of the data table to a string, right? With the help of an activity called output data table, right? And finally we displayed that string using the message box, correct? So this is what we did in the last class. So today's class objective is learning about clipboard management, and I will also teach you how to deal with an Excel application. Clear? Okay, we shall start with today's objective. The first one is clipboard management. So according to the author, clipboard management is concerned with managing the activities of the clipboard. I mean getting the text from the clipboard or copying the text from the clipboard is called clipboard management. Okay, I will give you a simple example before directly jumping into an practical example. So usually when you are operating your computers, usually you have done an operation like copy and paste, right? For example, let us assume that you have an Word file, and assume that there was content like this, I mean a paragraph like this, and assume that a first statement in that paragraph you are trying to paste in a browser. I mean, or you can take that as an specifically as an Google search engine. Let us assume this is the Google search engine, this is the search box. Okay, now let us assume that you want to search or you want to copy the first statement in this paragraph, and you have to paste in the search box in the Google search engine. So what you usually will do, you will select this first line, correct? You will select this first line and you will perform right click operation, correct? And then after that you will do copy, right? You will do copy operation, and where that actually copied content will be there? In a buffer. That is nothing but a clipboard. Usually that clipboard will not be visible for us, but if you want to view that clipboard content, you can able to view. So usually the content copied here will be placed in the clipboard first, right? And then when you perform paste operation by pressing right click of a mouse button, then the content present in the clipboard will be pasted here. So this is the place where clipboard will play a role. Clear? So that's what that is what the author is telling, that getting the text from the clipboard or copying selected text from the clipboard. Okay, this is what clipboard management means. Okay, now we shall see an example, practical example for managing the clipboard. Okay, here in the textbook your author has taken an example with respect to Notepad. Let us go at a high level first. Okay, what they are trying to do is they are trying to make a robot which will click the Notepad and then type something in the Notepad content, and then after that selecting all the content present in that text box and then performing copy operation. So after performing copy operation, the content copied by the copy operation will be placed in the clipboard, and then using either copy selected text or there is one more interesting activity called get from clipboard. Either you can use this or copy selected text in order to get the text present in the clipboard, and finally use the message box to display the copied content. Clear? So this is what now we shall try to implement this practically by using UiPath Studio. Once again I will repeat. So the objective here it is, in order to demonstrate clipboard management, we are using a notepad. And we are typing some text in the notepad. Then after that we are performing or we are copying or selecting all the text in the typed text in the notepad, and then performing copy operation, so that that copied content will be presented in the clipboard, and then taking the content from the clipboard and finally displaying that copied content in a form of a string using message box. Clear with the objective? So we shall go ahead with this. Okay, now go to the UiPath Studio. Then you can start with a new process or a new project. Okay, I will give a name as example for clipboard management or clip process, and I am saving the content in the directory UiPath present in the D drive. Okay. Okay, then go to the designer panel. Then you can start with a flowchart. Okay, you can start with a flowchart. Then double click on this. You can take a sequence. Or directly you can start with a sequence. It does not matter, because anyhow here we are trying to implement a simple automation. You can directly go ahead with the sequence itself, but usually it is a good practice to start with a flowchart. Then double click on the sequence. Now we are in sequence. Okay, now I will show you how to use automatic recording, right? Now in this example I will use both automatic and manual recording. Okay. I already have shown one example for automatic recording in the previous class also. Okay, those who have not gone through that automatic recording, okay, once again you can observe how we can able to record the actions automatically. Okay, I can use basic recording or I can use desktop recording. I think in the previous class I have used basic recording mechanism. Now I am going ahead with the desktop recording. Desktop recording, make it simple, is used to record the actions performed on the desktop. Okay, I will click desktop recording. So this is the options that I will get with respect to desktop recording. Okay, I can click record. Now it is ready to record. Okay, first what it has to do means it has to click on the notepad present in the taskbar. Okay, don't worry about this anchor. Anyhow, in the next unit we will learn in depth about this anchor. Now for the time being, check this checkbox and choose an option called no. Then now a notepad is ready. Okay, now click on this. A window will appear. Now enter the text that has to be written over there. Okay, then press enter key. Okay, then after that what it has to do, it has to click on edit. Then what it has to do, it has to click on select all. Then what it has to do, it has to click again on edit, and it has to perform copy operation. Now successfully you have copied the content in the notepad to a clipboard, right? Now I will press escape key. Okay, and we shall stop the recording. Okay, or else you can close this. Okay, the order does not matter here. Closing that notepad does not matter. You can save and exit, and then you can close that notepad. It does not bother. Now click save and exit, and just cross check whether all the actions that has been performed by you has been recorded over here. Okay, first we have clicked on notepad. Then after that we have clicked on the editable area in the notepad. Then we want to write, we want to make robot to write hello in that area. Then the robot has to click on edit. Then after that it has to click on select all. Then after that it has to click on again edit. Then again it has to click on copy operation. So after this where the text will be there in the clipboard, right? And to get that clipboard content, okay, you can use get from clipboard, or you can use copy selected text. I will use get from clipboard. Okay, what this will do, it will get the text from the clipboard. Okay, right? And in order to store that result, I will create a variable called result, or I can use res itself, no problem, and let the scope be desktop itself, or you can choose flowchart at an higher top level or sequence level. Okay, I will go with the flowchart level. Okay, in order to make my job simpler, that's it. Okay, then I have to specify this. The text taken from the clipboard has to be written. Okay, this see here I am in the output option where I need to specify the variable. Now what it will do, the retrieved text from the clipboard will be stored in a variable called result. Then after that, what we have to do, as I said, we need to display that string in a message box, right? So I will take message box and I will ask message box to display the content of result, and always good practice to convert that to a string, but in this case it is not needed anyhow it is in a string format. Okay, but always remember that input and output operation will be performed in a text format or a string format. Okay, now we shall check whether it will meet our requirement. Okay, now I will no problem if we get the error, we shall try to resolve it. Okay, now I am making the robot or I am initiating the robot. Okay, just I am observing. Okay, it has gone hello, it has typed and it has performed copy operation. Yeah, see here, actually that hello was there in the clipboard, and what this activity has done, what this activity has done, get from clipboard, it has retrieved the text present in the clipboard, and then it is storing in a variable called result, and then we are displaying the content of the result using the message box. Okay, I hope with this example you understood how to deal with the text present in the clipboard, right? Okay, with this I will continue with the last module. Okay, last module titled as file operation with step-by-step example, where the objective is you will learn how to deal with an Excel file. Particularly or specifically, you will learn how to perform a read operation, how to perform a write operation, how we can able to read collections of values from the Excel file, and how we can able to write collections of values to an Excel file, and how we can able to perform append operation with respect to an Excel file. Okay, in this video just I will explain you how we can able to perform read operation, and in the coming video or in the coming classes I will explain you with other operations. And once we complete all these operations, then the unit 2 will be completed. Clear? Okay, so with this I will start with the first simplest operation that you can able to perform on Excel is performing a read operation. The objective of this read operation is, it has to read the content of any specific cell. We call this cell as an A2 cell because the column name is A and the cell number is 2. So this cell is identified by A2, cell A2, and similarly this cell will be identified by the column is B and row number is 3. It is called as an B3. So this is the mechanism that we will use. Indexing mechanism we will use in order to perform either read or write operation. So we shall at a high level we shall understand first, then we shall implement this practically. Okay, what they are telling, take the flowchart activity, then this is very important. This is very important. Whenever you are dealing with an Excel file, you have to include an activity called Excel application scope. Okay, Excel application scope inside the flowchart, then add read cell activity. Okay, and specifies values for the read cell activity, and finally you need to display. Okay, you need to display the content read by this read cell activity in the message box. Okay, so in the message box, once again I will repeat the objective here. It is, okay, let us assume that there will be an Excel file with, there will be an Excel file like this, similar to like this, and there will be some values in the Excel file, and what we have to do, we need to perform a read operation. I mean, particularly we need to read some cell, and finally that readed value from the Excel file should be displayed using message box. So let us assume this is the objective. Okay, and what we have to do for that, these are the steps. So once again I will recommend you to follow the steps, or else just follow the instructions given by me in this video. Okay, what I will do, I will perform that operation here itself. Okay, instead of creating a new process, in order to reduce the time, I am doing operation here itself. We are inside the sequence, and what the first important activity that you need to remember whenever you are dealing with Excel application is, you need to specify, or you need to use an activity called Excel application scope. Drop that. And important thing is, okay, I don't need this. Okay, let us assume that there is an Excel file called book with these values ABC1, DF2, ABC1. Okay, in order to avoid the confusion, I will delete this. Okay, there are only two rows. One is ABC and the one is DF. Okay, let us save this, and the Excel file is book. Okay, now what we shall do, we shall try to read a cell, this particular cell from an Excel file called book. Cell value is A2, right? Okay, now I will go to the here, and here click on this browse option, and here you need to choose the Excel or the path, or specify the path, complete path for that Excel file, and here you need to drop the activity with respect to an Excel operation or Excel application, and which is the activity that we need to use here? Read cell, okay, of Excel. Okay, read cell. By default it will take sheet 1. Sheet 1 means, see, in the Excel file you can have n number of sheets. This is sheet 1. Again, if you need a new sheet, you have to click over here, then it will get sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, like that. By default it will focus on sheet 1. If your data is present in sheet 2, okay, let us say like this, sheet 2, then you have then here you need to specify the name value as sheet 2. Clear? Okay, now I don't need this sheet 2, delete that. Now we are in sheet 1. In sheet 1 I need to extract the content of cell identified by A2, right? Okay, A2. Okay, I have to save this. Yeah, A2. Okay, here I don't want to retrieve A1 value, instead I need to retrieve A2 value. Okay, then after that, okay, we need a variable, right? Yeah, we already have created a variable called string. Okay, I can make use of the same variable. Here again, output property, and the red value should be stored in a variable called result. Then after that, what we have to do, I need to use a message box, because my aim is to display the content. Okay, display the readed value in the form of an string using the message box. Now where that value will be there? In a variable called result. Clear? Okay, let us execute this, and we shall see whether we will get an result as DF, because that is the string present in the cell A2, right? Okay, now we shall check this. Okay, I will run this. Yeah, DF. Can you see here? Okay, similarly, now if you want to read the cell value like 2 here, then what you have to do, you can use B2, okay, cell value B2, and as I said, always it's a good practice to display in the form of an string. Okay, because that is a numerical value. Okay, that is an exercise for you. If you don't use toString, then you need to tell me what will happen. Okay, sorry, I did not change here. Here the value should be B2. Did you understand my question? If you don't use toString over there, okay, I think you observed here. You observed here itself. I am converting to toString here, but actually it is a double value or a numerical value which is there in that Excel file. It can't able to read that value. Remember, it can able to only perform, as I said, string value. Okay, string value. How we can able to avoid this? Okay, one way is here itself you can specify, go to format cells, and instead of general type, let it be text. Okay, let it be text, and now we shall see whether it will do the job. No, again it is not, because it's treating as a double value. Okay, what we can able to do is, sorry, I don't need browser. I can use some B2 or B1. Okay, I'm making the content as string. Okay, did you observe here? Now it is retrieving the value of a cell identified with an index called B2. Clear? Like this you can access any cell value by using indexing mechanism. What I can say here, it is an indexing mechanism, like column name then the row number, like that. Clear? Okay, and in the coming classes I will tell you how to deal with the numerical value, but remember it can able to perform read and write operation in a string format only. Clear? We shall see how we can able to deal with the numerical value. More specifically, we shall see how we can able to do the operations if the Excel file has a numerical content in it. Clear? Okay, so this with this we come to the end of the session. Okay, in the coming class we shall see the other operations like write, read range, write range, append range with respect to Excel application, and we shall see finally how we can able to deal with, or we shall see how whether there is any alternative ways are there for us if the Excel file has an numerical values. Clear? Okay, thank you, Nanda.